everybody, this is Blossom. So it's been a very long time since I last made a video, and I just wanted to say hi again, and I wanted to check in with you. I want to know, are you okay? Are you safe? Are you healthy? How are you holding up with this crazy world, with this world in chaos? I mean, I'm not telling you anything new now. We live in crazy times. Everything is on lockdown. We are on lockdown for about a month now here, more or less. Yeah, a month. And so contact to the rest of the world is very different right now. And I wanted to do a video earlier already, but my mind is somewhere else. I will come to that in a minute. But I did notice that since I stopped making videos, I actually got quite a few new subscribers. So welcome, hi. I hope you find something interesting on this channel. I know you are maybe at the wrong time on my channel because I'm not doing much, but I checked there are around 200 videos, just below 200 something. I'm pretty sure there's enough to watch, and thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, let me all know how you're doing. It's been a while. I'm actually getting a little bit nervous in front of the camera, talking again to you. I have to say I'm not really stressed out by everything that is going on, because it's a bit shy to say, but nothing really affects me at the moment. Sorry, I'm just watching my dog. We are financially secure, so my husband is still working. He works less. He's a train driver, so less trains, of course, at the moment, and so he is at home much more than I'm used to. So I have to get used to that. Don't let him hear that. Just checking if he's listening. He's not. No, I have to get used to it, of course. The whole lockdown situation is for me not as hard as well, because hermit. That's what I do anyway. I avoid people, social distancing. I train my whole life for it. I'm fine with social distancing. It even took some stress away. That you're not a weirdo anymore. Everybody else knows now how it is. It's weird, but it took some stress away. Horrible thing to say, probably. I do realize, of course, that there are a lot of people who are in financial distress because of this whole situation, who don't have this security in their jobs, and now lost their jobs or are going to lose their jobs, and everybody who works independently. And for example, I love to go the whole season from spring to summer, and even into autumn is for me always a time where I love to go to medieval markets and or fantasy medieval markets. There are a lot of them, and I do miss going them. That's the only time I do socialize, and where I love to socialize, and where I like to be around a lot of people, and where I like to party and stuff like that. And I do miss that a lot, to go places like that. And I am in certain groups, and I see all those people who sell their items there, may it be clothes, may it be weapons, may it be jewelry, whatever it is. Of course, they lose because everything is cancelled. They lose a lot of jobs, so I'm trying to order a few things from them online, so at least they can have a little income. But it's never gonna be the same for them, it's easier when you are on the market. People just, walk by. Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna have to check that in the next weeks. Um, and I'm really, really sorry for all those people. And if you are one of those, whatever it is, I can just try to send you some strength, and I cannot do much about it from here. But what I wanted to offer is also for when people feel lonely or they just want to connect with others. I really wanted to say, I mean, you can always do that, but I want to empathize it now here again. Feel free to contact me. I will put my email in the description box, which I usually don't do, but because you can find me over Instagram or over my homepage, but I will also put my email. If you just want to write, if you feel lonely, if you want to vent, if you whatever you want to do, feel free to contact me. That's the only thing I can offer you now from afar. I want to do at least something for those who are not having a good time right now for whatever reason. And then, of course, all the people who are totally stressed now because they work in healthcare or in the grocery stores or in whatever sector where it's right crazy right now. That's bad. It is how it is. We just have to go through it. There are no big words of wisdom here because it's simply not. It's a time we have to get through it and try to make the best out of it, right? I did had a few people who contacted me over the last 2 weeks, something like that. Those people were telling me that they finally have the time to make my fairy course, for example, to take a look at that, to really take their time with it, to really go through it. And I thought, that's so lovely, Now, if it was always the lack of time for doing something like that and to really deeply connect, for example, here in this case with the Fae, now it's a wonderful time, of course, to do that. And I just told my husband a few days ago, I'm really happy that I have those free courses now online. For everybody who is, who wants to, I don't want to say distract themselves, but who really wants to put their time and their energy in something different right now. I'm really happy that those free courses are available for them now. It doesn't matter if it's the fairy course or the OM course, both are there. So if you find the energy and you are in the right mindset for it, I would really love to hear how that is going, how you work with the Fae or with the OM, how it works out for you. At least that is again something that I can offer for people who want to get busy now, but I also think that we don't have to be like super productive right now. A lot of people are struggling with anxiety and with stress, and it overwhelms them. And then adding that another layer of stress by telling constantly, oh, you have to be productive right now, you have to do this. And there are a lot of people who offer free courses or courses at reduced prices for everything, for writing, for painting, for whatever, and I think that is great, but I don't think you have to go crazy about it. If you don't want to do anything, you just don't do anything. Embrace to be lazy if that is what you want to do, and if that is what makes you feel good or what comforts you. I had a few days where I was like super, super lazy, I just didn't want to do anything. I did lose my job, but I didn't lose it because of Corona. I didn't lose it. So as some of you know, who watch my channel for a while, I'm a dog sitter, and in January this year I decided to stop because Ivy, my eldest dog, she's 14 years old now, my beagle. She isn't doing so well anymore. She is still fine to go on walks and stuff like that, small walks, slow walks, but her heart is really bad. We did a checkup, and we have to do regular checkups every 3 to 4 months. And her heart is really bad at this time, and so I decided to close off the dog pension, or or my work as dog sitter, because it does stress her to have constantly other dogs around who still are very playful. And I also shut it down because it was a bad year for many dogs. So some of you remember that my dog Gypsy died last year, and I was so devastated. Still, phew. And in the last 2 years, a lot of my my guest dogs, they passed away. It was incredible, and especially from summer to winter, so the last 6 months, one after the other. It's crazy. I don't know, this was a weird year. That was, for me, when it came to, dogs, well, it was last year was a weird year anyway, for me. And so what I needed to do was then getting new clients, which isn't too much of a problem to get new clients. But again, as I said, Ivy is not doing well, and so I decided to not do the dog sitting at the moment, as long as Ivy is still with us, which I hope is still a very long time. As long as she's happy and she's not in pain, right? She's just very slow, and she doesn't hear me anymore, and well, we have to take everything very easy with her. But she's happy. That's the main thing, right? To keep her happy and to keep her stress-free, I'm not taking any other dogs anymore at the moment. And I struggled with that quite a bit. I made the decision in December, and it took me a couple of months to adjust to it. It was difficult because it was a job that I did for 12 years. Nuts when you think about it. Nuts. And I just had to stop. I'm gonna start again, but that's when Ivy is not here anymore, and that doesn't make me happy. So I don't want to think about it when I start again. But so it didn't come as a shock to me. That was something that was planned, and I saw Ivy struggling with it during summer already a little bit, so it was only a question of time when I had to actually stop. And so I felt during that time very, very lost and forlorn, and who am I? However, it was also the time where I really, really started to focus on. I'm sorry, I'm just not comfy. Where I started to write. I did start my world building last year already, so when you write fantasy, world building is a thing, a big thing, very big thing. You think of every plant that may grow in 50 different regions, and you just go crazy with world building, right? And I did all the world building already, and then I started writing. And I mentioned it already in the last video. This is one of the reasons why I don't make a lot of YouTube videos. I am so focused on writing, and I'm done with world building. No, that's not really true. You still get to, and then oh my god, I really have to think about that. And then you put in some folklore again. Your own folklore from your own world. Just because you can. And I have to say, it's the whole writing process is also one of the reasons why I'm not stressed about the corona craziness at all, because I am so lost in this world. I am so lost in this world. And again, my dog. And I love it. I'm in love with my characters, I'm in love with my worlds, and I just want to be there all the time, and I am. It's probably hard to talk to me at the moment. I'm constantly, my mind always goes like, and it's just so easy for me to write at the moment. It's also a great escape at the moment, right? Because if I dwell in my own world created by all by myself, just I don't have to dwell in here. Yeah, well, you can argue about if escapism is a good thing or a bad thing. We did that already. I did that together with my husband, also for the fairy course. It was like fantasy, fairies in fantasy and fantasy in fairy, which was actually great video, but I don't think many people, I don't know, watched it, or I don't know. I have to check that again. But there we discussed the whole point of if escapism is a bad thing or not. But yeah, that is what I'm doing right now. I take every day, I don't know, hours, I don't know. Sometimes I just write a whole day. Some days I just write a couple of hours, and the rest I'm doing a bit of world building. And then I also like to, I draw or paint a lot at the moment for my my book, just to have visuals, not really to put it out there or anything, because I'm not really good at it. But just to have my own visuals. And I did even try to make a book cover now. Just, it was a quick thing just to have something, because I had people ask me about, sending out sample chapters, and I am 52,000 words in. 52, I don't know, over 50,000 words in, which is more or less half. And so I have 12 chapters, and I was thinking about sending out 10 chapters to get a bit of feedback, but I'm not ready just yet. It's still like your baby at this moment, right? And I don't know if I'm ready to be criticized already, or to get critique. I need it. Definitely, it's not perfect, I know that. But right now it's still, everything is beautiful, everything is how I want it to be. And as everybody who listened to me for a while now, everybody knows my first language, it's not English. But to give myself, because writing alone is not challenge enough, to give myself a little bit of a challenge, I did write the whole thing in English. Just to try if I can do it. My husband, he's from England, so he does the proofreading, and the computer does the spell checking. But he does tell me, okay, the sentence is not well built and stuff like that, or here you used the wrong time or whatever. And he's also a very passionate fantasy reader, so he will also help me with plot holes, which there aren't any yet, but they might come, because now I'm getting into, all my notes are going crazy. There's a lot of happening right now, and I have to be aware of plot holes. And yeah, so he does the check. He checks that for me, but yeah, I'm thinking about sending out the first 10 chapters to get feedback from other people as well. See, whenever we will see whenever that happens, right? But I wanted to write it in English because it's been such a long time since I've read anything in German, to be honest. And German isn't my first language either, by the way. You know, I don't know how many people that actually know, but I'm not from Germany. I'm not German. I just live here. I'm actually from. I don't know if I ever said that. I'm actually from Luxembourg, and so even German is not my first language. And everybody, you know, when I speak German, my accent, it gives me away immediately. Everybody, oh, so you're not from Germany then? Nope. I have an accent everywhere. Because Luxembourg is, you know, there are like 1,000 people left who speak Luxembourgish. No, there are more, but, you know, it's not a big country. It's a tiny little shoe country. It looks like a shoe, for those who don't know. And it's tiny. I can't even describe you how excited I am about the whole writing. I just, you know, it makes me so happy right now, and that I'm able to be in this world at the moment. And oh, there's, you know, especially when you start to really love your characters, so great. And I feel bad because at the time where so many people are in distress, I'm sitting here, but I go to Navira. That's one of the worlds we're in. Hey, darling. Yeah, come now, listen. Come here. Yeah, and I do feel bad, you know, but on the other hand, I'm so excited. I can't even contain it. I'm just, you know, every day I wake up, the first thing I do is think about already what to write, how to write, where to put it, and then I'm really excited to go and just write. And then I sit there for hours, and I'm always having music, you know, in the background, like epic music all the time. And you feel very, when you're confronted with that epic music all the time, you always feel quite good about yourself, you know. Yeah. Well, I think I talked enough for one day. Yeah, it's weird, right? Lockdown. I can't even talk anymore. You know, another month and we just grunt. We just keep grunting. Yeah, so again, let me know how you are. If you want contact, if you just want to write to somebody, I'm here, and I'm giving you all a big hug. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all your support. And we will see whenever I will come up again. Maybe another 50,000 words later, I will turn up on YouTube again. Usually I say, I wish you a wonderful day. I still wish you a wonderful day. Even if times may be not so great for you. I'm sending you all much love and many blessings, and bye bye.